Hello, sorry for making you wait. Let me quickly go through the chat. Okay. Thank you for joining. It's great to see so many people. Like, it's first time, and the reason is so much people. I guess it's because we are testing some beta features, for which I'm really grateful to developers. They really gave me an opportunity to check it, test it, and give feedback and play around. So I was super happy. I normally don't show emotions, but inside I'm really happy. So let's see what we have. I have a lot of characters. I wish I had prepared more files for you, but let's go and see one at a time. So I heard you wanted to see. Oh, let me make my face smaller actually. Why am I so big? Okay. So here, first of all, we are going to test physics constraint, and it's the most important thing in this version. So yeah, that's all what's gonna happen today. And physics constraint is applied to bones. We select the bones and pretty much select the constraint, and that's it. The last thing to do before simulation starts is to select which property we want to be selected. And for this, I will go translate, rotation, maybe shear, let's see, and scale, why not? And that's it. This is right away is working. Yeah, let's do for both of them. This is basic default setup, so let's go with that. We see already something. Let's go and check in animation. I will make sure to delete all the keys here, so we don't have any animation on this stuff. No, this is not cool enough. Yeah, something so like, okay, let's delete the keys. And this is purely simulation of the physics, what you see. Obviously the sequence is made from the images, which makes it look cool, but you can see I spent a lot of time animating these two bones actually to follow the trail, but right now we have it for free pretty much. And yeah, let's move forward with our next project. We have a tree. I did not see the result, I promise you. I just opened the project, whichever I found, and I'm going to test it with you. So let's go and give some constraints to this. I tried to do some constraints, but I did not test it. So this is the trunk, so it's going to be much stiffer and heavier, I assume. So I would like to see them separately. Let's click simulate, translate. No, let's not shift it from not affect the translate, just rotation, and it's going to be very subtle. And this is important because we need to learn how to modify, play with those settings. I'm going to move the root. I'm not sure if I have container bone. Yeah. Okay, this is good. It's not working, so this is cool that we have a chance to actually play with stuff. So let's go back and make sure that the force is not this heavy. So we don't want this much of swaying. For that, we can increase inertia, or let's see if we increase. No, we need to decrease it. If we increase, it will be harder to move, so it will have more delay. Yeah. So let's see. Yeah, maybe maybe a little bit higher. And I want to increase the strength. The strength is the force that brings it back. So inertia is responsible for delay. So the heavy object is heavy, the bone is the bone, more it will delay from its original position. And strength you can see in the tooltips. If I manage to show them, sometimes I just can't. Yeah, here are they. Force to return to the original pose. It's pretty simple. And inertia will say force applied in proportion to bone movement. So whatever you move, whenever you move the bone, this force, higher it is, it will prevent it from moving, like stop it. And the strength is bringing it back. Okay. So I like the rotation of the trunk, but I don't like the head is also rotating. Maybe we can disable rotation. Let's try different things. And disable also rotation for them. So this is a good start for trunk. Let's move with the heavy branches. Selecting all of them, and do I want translate? Yeah, let's do translate and rotation. Let's leave. Oh, this is too much, I think. I mean, it depends on the game. If there is only just earthquake, it might work like this. But if you just want to plant it very fast, it's clearly not behaving like a tree. This version is not available publicly. Developers were kind enough to share it with me, so I also check it and play it, and with your help to experiment with more cases. So this is the only thing I can say. I don't have any dates. I don't have any advices to say how you can get it. Okay, now I will go back and try to fix this. I don't want I want less inertia, so the lifts are mostly not leaving, but then I want also less damping. So damping is when spine prevents, like I don't know the voice, like swaying. I need to Google that. No, anyway, swaying. So higher it is, the smoother it will come to the end point. And yeah, less of damping. I'm selecting only the bones that are here for the bigger branches. And maybe higher strength, so it quickly brings them back. I don't want them to move too much. Yeah, this is more like it. So let's say we drop it on the ground in the game, like with code. So there is no animation. Just to repeat myself, what we will be doing here, mostly just simulating physics. So this is how we drop on the ground, and that's it. And imagine the lumberjack is hitting on the trunk. Let's simulate that. I think we have that animation here. He left it. Yeah. So this is the heat. I will make sure that I delete all the keys from the upper branches. Yeah, we see a little bit, but not enough. Pretty much simulation is not visible. Yeah, so maybe for that heat we need to make it even faster. Not visible at all, so maybe we need to increase in this case. But what I was looking for is to see if I can reduce it enough so I actually plant it on the ground, and this looks nice for me. And I saw you had the question, point of gravity for set, is there? So I'm covering about gravity and wind right now. So at the moment, as disappointing it can be, we can't key animation, key properties. That means that we have wind and gravity here, obviously, but they are just forces that apply constantly, like no acceleration and no deceleration, obviously, just constant speed. So that means that they are just vectors on the x and y axis. So the wind will be the x axis, then gravity will be the y axis, the minus and plus. So we can't key them, so I can't change the wind's direction. I can't change the direction of the wind, obviously, and can't change the speed, force of the wind. So I can't make anything to sway under the wind. If we have them under animation, if we have keyable properties, this will be a different case, because we will be keying here like wind 2, wind 4, etc. I'm going to prepare a document with feature suggestions. I'm pretty sure they all have that by themselves, like figured it out. But I will do my best to come up with new and useful ideas. So what I want to set global wind and gravity, and then use that as property here, because wind is pretty much wind for the scene, so I don't want to go ahead and adjust the wind for each of them. Yeah, that's something. So wind and gravity is not something that big that you would think just by reading them. They are just forces that apply constantly, and we can't key them right now. I'm repeating right now because we do really expect those changes in the future. I think before release, obviously. So without animating them, this is pretty much useless. Or one case, you can make object fall, because let me show it to you. I did it previously in the other stream. So let's assume we have a bone, and you would think, hey, let's create physics constraint and give gravity, so it would fall constantly down. Let me enable them. Okay, let me resimulate. So enabling, and then gravity goes down but then stops. So this might be not obvious at first, because most of the time particle systems, if you're familiar, if you enable the gravity, and if something is in already stabilized, enabling gravity will mean that it should move constantly that way if there are no other external forces. But we have force that prevents gravity to move, and this is the strength. So the strength is the force that brings the bone to original place. It tries to, the higher it is, the higher the value the force is to bring it back. So if I reduce it to 0, you will see gravity is fully applying here. It will endlessly just move it there. And same if I go minus, it will move it up. If I add wind, which is similar to gravity but on the other axis, if I apply wind, you will see it will go diagonally. So we can use this as falling snow or anything, so from the ground that we want to use it. It can be rain, snow, yeah, etc. So, but this is clearly not useful if we can't animate them, because having all of them fall at the same time every time, all the time, it's not cool. I mean, you can set them different gravity and wind, but what you can't do is like make them sure that the wind is blowing momentarily and then stopping and changing direction. This is mostly how the snow would work. So it's not chaotic, but at least it is not like one directional movement. Yeah, so we need this to be keyable so we can check full power of it. Let's see the chat. I don't want to miss your questions. Mixed value affects overall constraint, so it doesn't affect any particular property, so it just turns off constraint. So yeah, if you just give it like this without any animation, if programmer just takes and drops it on the ground, did I turn off the physics? I don't know, where are they? Yeah. Yeah, back. I have no idea what happened. So if programmer just drops this there, moves, and it will behave like this without any animation. This is a little bit sad at first. Maybe you will think, hey, maybe they won't need us and we won't get more job here. I heard this concern a few times, but I don't think so. I think we will have even more work, because more projects will look into spine, more games will look into spine to make it with spine, and more aspects of the game will need that animation. So it's something I also am not sure, so let's leave it for now. Maybe it will come up later, but I wouldn't be scared to lose any kind of job. It will be just easier and for us to concentrate on creative part. Let's. Yeah, gravity is y-axis and wind is x-axis. Yeah, I heard about baking the animation, so I don't think we can do that, because at any key, if I delete all keys, there is no actually movement at any key. So you can see, even if I move it like this, okay, it's moving, but then I stop at one key to try and bake it everything. There is no movement, everything is already settled up. So it's something that new for me also, to understand how we can play with it. Two set of constraint, one of falling, for example, a second for stop. I don't know. Yeah, I think these kind of setups would be easily to work. So you turn off one and then, yeah, bring on the other. Okay, let's maybe I will add also these leaves. I want to see them sway very elastically, I guess. Let's try that one. Okay. Rotation, shear and scale. Let's do that. So I will give higher inertia. That means they will delay more, and or maybe I will just reduce the strength. No, let's bring the strength. I will reduce the damping, maybe reduce the friction, and let's see. This is not behaving how I expected. I think I need to remove translates here. Let's try that way. And I will also remove the scale and maybe bring back translates. And just rotation. Yeah, with rotation it works a little bit better. So obviously with this rig, we can even work further, but you get the idea. I don't want to stick to one project too long. Next we have this car, which I think I already did. Let's see it, or I didn't. At least I remember testing it. Yeah, here's it. So you can see the head is moving. Let me hide the ground. Can you see it? So it is a slide. I tried to make it heavy because it's pretty much heavy car, but what I didn't have here, I would like to have the rotation to be affected much less than translate. So if I'm happy with the translate, I'm not happy with rotation. Right now, let me show it to you. So let's assume I'm happy with this movement of the body. Maybe yeah, let's assume I'm happy with that. So if I enable rotation, this will make him like rotate crazily, which I clearly don't want. So I can't actually reduce only rotation. So if I reduce it, it will also reduce the X and Y axis. This is clearly not something I want. So I also will report this as a feature request. I don't think it's a bug or whatever. So we would like, I would like to have the rotation mix value here, just slider to move it up and low. So okay. Yeah, I do have a mermaid, but its tail is super short, so I don't think it will be feasible. But I will try with different tails. Okay, maybe we can delete the highlights. Just the bones, you can see this is the setup. I don't have any feeling right now. I need to test everything, but developer said it's even lighter than normal constraints, so we won't have any problems, at least in this setup. So I'm pretty sure they wouldn't deliver something that is very hard to use, even though we have a clipping, but it pretty much doesn't have any alternatives. Clipping is clipping. It's most likely everywhere is expensive. Okay, let's create constraints, select all of them. Okay, I'm not sure what I want actually. Rotation, let's turn on everything and see. This is no, not liking it. So less inertia, yes, works fine. More strength, yeah, still looking like a rubber. Even higher strength, something. Maybe we can remove the scale. Still looking like a rubber. Okay, so if we put, for example, this on a tank, that is driving, and why it's not moving? And it's driving like this, it would make sense. It will look nicely. I mean, the type of flag is not cool, so you will be expected to make it wavy a little bit or do it yourself. But you can see we have an animation. I did it, I think this was my first tutorial. Showing the flag. If you use rotation on the root bone, will it also simulate the physics on its children? Yes, if you move the bone, every children is moving with it and they will be simulated. So this is the animation. What you see is right now animation. I will delete all the constraints to be sure. Yeah, this is the animation. So the reason why we don't see simulation, because we are only animating scale and a little bit of movement. So if I, for example, animate this rotation like here and there, and maybe make it twice in the cycle, and this is some kind of waving. Considering that the flag is already animated as flat, so you should be taking care of that, I guess. And one thing that you can work with the bones and make them less and less impactful, I guess. So let's make them change the mix while they are moving to the tip. And the tip is mostly affected here, and this is also the case for the I don't think you can render it as GIF right now, or any other ways of exporting. You can see even in preview window, if I play the animation, it just plays the animation and rotation, so physics is not simulated. I think they are not releasing it right now as in this beta, so obviously you can't use it in the game, so whatever reason. But I'm pretty sure when beta is publicly released, you will see those exports. Right now I don't think so. Okay, now I will ask you to wait a little bit while I'm exporting this. I should have prepared it beforehand, but I really need to go out for a brief moment. Where is it? Okay, can we render now? Nice for really good. Great. Let's export this. Hey, we have one layer. Okay. I don't have any plans for that. I'm just experimenting with physics and understanding what structures are most useful, but pretty much anyway, I mean, you have the character, you have main animations, and everything else will be just simulated as physics. At least it can be very helpful. So I'm not naming it right now. Let's go. If you have any other ideas, let me know. I already did this and did flag. Okay, let me drag this. New project. Discard the changes. We don't need this and this. Where do we start? I will go with this one. It's pretty simple. And you can key the bone, but it's not going to key that bone's position considering simulated pose. It will key the bone's position as it is now, so you will create a duplicate key. I think you can do open different spines interface. There should be reuse instances. I don't know where is it now, but it was here. Launcher, general, reuse instance here. So if it's reuse, then you will open always in the same. Otherwise, it will open new one. Okay, so we have physics. We need to simulate it. The only thing I need is rotation. I don't want to move it. And it's pretty simple and behaves exactly as expected. And you can see right now dumping very well. If I reduce it, it's going to you can see how it oscillates, repeats, like, and that's the reason we have dumping very little. And to reduce that, if we make higher dumping, you can see it just comes to rest in one animation, one movement. So the friction is pretty straightforward. It just constantly slows down the movement. Let's make it higher. I think you get the idea. Oh no, this one. And without friction. And maybe with very little mass. Okay, so with higher mass it will. So they are pretty much similar. I think you get the idea. Let me read the chat and move to the other example. Okay. I will leave this at the end. Maybe we won't even do them. These are different type of clothes, and maybe the silk one, this is super lightweight, and this is a very heavy leather skin. Pretty much it's a skin of the animal. I'm looking to do this one because I'm really struggling to understand how I would actually do it, because it has different pivots. But first let's do the easy one. Okay. Maybe I should not create this much. Let's remove this one. How is our binding? Doing great, I guess. Okay. This is the first time I'm seeing it, so I will also explore it with you. So we need translate, obviously, and I think this is the only thing we need right now, because the bones doesn't have the length, so rotation won't be affected here. They are all in the flat structure hierarchy. I will explain it a little bit later. So let's go and check if I selected all of them. Translate. Okay, they are the same place, so they do behave like that. So we have a thing here. It because all of them are in the same bone, they pretty much move the water at the same rate, so we don't see any simulation, which is pretty much obvious. We will need to go ahead and adjust everything here one by one. I will try to do it, but I don't think by just quick doing it we can achieve a nice effect here. Yeah, something like this. So it's pretty much is possible if we do really set up everything one by one, it will be possible. Yeah. Or if we set a length to it for each of them, I will put them back to where they were and enable also rotation simulation. So now that they have length, yeah, we still don't get what we want, but we have a table from above view. Hello, Ilyas, thank you for supporting. I don't know if they intensify, or I think I get what you mean. I don't think that, but they clearly mean different. I mean, if I put one into a different, that should behave different. It's not like the physics is stronger, but physics happen differently considering the parent. I mean, you can see that if I move it up, this is lower, this is upper, higher, but then it changes. So it's not like stronger, it's just different considering the other. So okay, let's leave the water, I guess, for now. I failed to showcase it to you, but it's clearly doable because I needed to go and one by one adjust everything, which I don't want to do now. Next thing, I want to mesh this little guy. Let's do just quick meshes. And so standard IK setup here. Great. Yeah, I think you can do add constraint spin. I mean, it works same way. It should be possible. Yeah. I haven't thought about the use cases of it, but it should be possible. Oh, and I need 2 other IKs here. Let me split it. Okay, we are almost there. So now if we want to move it, let's assume this has a gravity, or not gravity, physics. That means inertia and mass. Okay, higher inertia, and yeah, let's see how this works. Okay, I clearly need to put this here. Yeah, I did forget to turn on this. I don't want to scale or share to distort our okay, so this works as expected for now. I want to also IKeys work as expected. So let's try to reset constraints. Yes. There is something I would still want to have. So when the arms are relaxed, it's fine that it behaves like this. But the moment arms stretching it, it should clearly go. We should see the force affecting. So this is where we can see that force is really encapsulated inside that bone right now. Because when I'm moving it down, it really makes sense. But when I'm stretching it, the arms are super stretching, but it doesn't help the weapon. I don't know, maybe I'm missing something here. But at least I wanted to try, and I really... How can I improve this? Maybe I should try to reduce the mass inertia. Well, it's better. We don't see the issue here anymore. Yeah. And what if I make the walking animation? Maybe even... less friction. No, we see some kind of waving here. Anyway, I don't like it. I don't like it. Okay, next let's do yeah, I'm afraid of this setup. I think it will take longer, so you will be free to leave if it's boring, but let's do the juicy ones. Let's do the interesting ones. Okay, so we clearly need to preserve our body to not stretch. Yeah, you can use the bone even with the mixed value one, because simulation ends at some point and it adds to the whatever bone is doing there. So let me show it to you. Let's assume we have this guy and it is animating from side to side. Let's do it fast. So you can check here and do any animation. The physics really doesn't hold up. I mean, it will add that calculation to what you animated, but pretty much it's not like a transform constraint when you have higher value and you can't even use it. Okay, let's go back and see our character. Two bones, it's going to be easy, I guess. Let's see. Okay. Okay, let's leave it like this. We will perfect it in our production project. Translate. We don't need rotation. Okay, let's do for both of them. Not happy. So I would like to see a less damping, less inertia, higher strength, less friction. Too much. a little bit higher damping. I think with better binding we can do. One thing I don't like is that they behave exactly the same. It's something I don't really like. So you will need to adjust a little bit values here to make it look like a different. But then there is looks like the one is made different material. Very good. I have very good feelings about the new version. It's very simple, yet it provides a lot of value to us, as Spine always does. Introduces one big feature but in a very simple way. Okay, I think with this example I will show you the difference between if bone has length or it doesn't have any length. Creating constraint, translate, we don't need scale. Bind it. Okay, so first thing I need is less damping, less strength, and maybe now I will add a rotation here to this bone. And with this one I will also turn on rotation. But we don't need translate. Okay, so let's see if we can see the difference between if it has rotation or not. I will create a new bone here So this is just a bone that has no length. I mean, it's a 0. So when I create constraint, let me put it inside another bone. I'm enabling rotation, and let's see if actually it does something. So you can see it's not rotating. This bone is not rotating. Let me change the icon to something like this. But if I give it length, it should start actually rotate. Yeah. So you can see the length actually matters here. Same works for scale. It rotates because it has length and it is considered as a long object, so that's why it behaves like this. So even if I do have rotation enabled for one for bones with 0 length, it's not calculated. Yeah, physics can be added with an I key. As you can see here, we have a physics working, the sword is in physics and the I key is working with it. And I'm not sure about making the bones with the physics right now. I tried several times, but none of them were practical or something useful. So I'm not going to do it now. Okay, next thing I would like to try this one. Let's do 3 of them. This is a silk, transparent cloth, very lightweight. I mean, you might not see it, so I'm telling you, let's consider it that way. And I will select all of them, and yeah, I want it to split actually. Let me delete their constraints and split. Oh, not 52, just 5. Let's create physics, translate. Yeah, I want everything. Of course, I need to do it for all of them. Okay, now I'm not sure which one is which, but it's pretty much starting with layer. So let's grab all the ones. Yeah, I hope it's these ones. Wow. Not cool. I'm selecting all of them. I don't want to pick. Anyway, we are looking at this project right now, at this setup. So, or maybe we can delete them. Let's just leave them. Okay, simulate, translate. Let's turn on scale and sharing later. So it's going to be with inertia. I mean, it's not inertia actually, but there is air, and it will slow it down. Maybe we can lower it down but increase the friction. I think it's going to do the same. There is wind, but it's not an effect, it's just a force applying on x-axis. I'm answering on Nekokna. I don't know. I need to test it. I think this is a little bit more complex setup. If I answer it now, it clearly might not be true tomorrow. So most likely it depends the order of the constraints. If the physics is higher, it will be applied the first, and then the transform constraint will override depending on its mix value. Okay, so you can see it's lightweight and we see it's calmly coming down. So this is something I already like. Okay, let's go and check again. Okay, higher friction, maybe less mass, and strength higher. I want them to come back. Yes. Yes, I don't like how I actually bound the mesh. So you see, we will still need to animate them separately. If we want an offset, it clearly will need that we have to create 3 bonds here for each ray and move them separately. I don't see other way, otherwise it will look like very synchronous movement. So let's assume we have those 3 bonds and we are moving them. So now it's looking like something very simultaneously animated. If we offset it, we can see a different effect. I mean, even if there is physics, we will still need to animate it. That is great. And another thing that we can find these ones and the tip ones give them more value. So if I start it from here and go and give them higher value up until the tip, you will see the base will be affected much less, because it pretty much has hanging and it has force on it applying on the tip. And maybe at the tip we can give even higher higher strength. And maybe enable shearing scale. Anyway, so you get the idea. Why will be that's amazing. So imagine with this you also get wind effect applied on the thing, so it's going to be great. I'm not sure how we will use it right now, but it's really going to be great. So it's time for this one. I don't think I will solve it today, but I'm very ready to fix it. I'm prepared. Okay, so we need to separate them, obviously. And so we have different pivot points where they will rotate. That's what's making it difficult. I will create a root bone here, one here. Let's just start from here. I really don't know where to start right now. And yeah, let's see how this works. Let's go slowly. No, this will stretch it. I think I don't need these bones actually. Maybe we can go with just, I think, 2 bones here. No. Okay, I see this is not an easy case. First of all, they need to have different values here. Secondly, we need a rotation. So I will give some length to the bones. I don't like it, and it's not even beginning, so we didn't even solve the most thing. I mean, it might look a little bit something that can be used with small vibrations. I was thinking to add bones here, but as simple, if I keep it simple, I might be able to solve it actually much better. Adding keys will clearly make my mind chaos. I think this is for different time. I don't want to waste your time. Maybe I will show it later when I figure out how to do it. Okay, so yeah, we're pretty much did it. Yeah, and it's already late. I don't want to keep you. I know the most of you are in the same zone as me, like even it's much later than you because I'm in Madrid right now and you would be a little bit east. I will continue it later offline. For now, I will close the stream and finish it here. Any questions apart from when we will have this version? I'm so excited to check it. Thank you for developers to giving this chance so I can play. I'm playing with it like every day. It's like at least 1 or 2 hours. It's something I just continue thinking about it even when I go to sleep. Yeah. So great. See you in the next stream, video, whatever. Let me know in the comments what you want to see from this. I feel sad that you actually don't have it in your hands. I mean, I would really love to talk about your versions, like how you experiment and see your experiments. So for now, happy to see you all here.